Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be waiting for the narcissist to change. Think about that for a minute. Guys, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So many times when you are in a relationship, say any relationship, you're hoping that the individual will change and you will change along with them. And perhaps, let's say this is a friendship, that, well, you want to give and take. You want to learn from each other, build the friendship up, and then hopefully have introduced each other to the foundation of the relationship, and it blossoms, it grows. You understand where each other stands, and you're headed in the same direction, and you are there to support each other. Same thing in a romantic relationship. That's exactly how these relationships should be. Point is when you are in a narcissistic relationship, many times, first of all, you don't realize this individual who turned out to be a narcissist is a narcissist. Second of all, most likely you did not get the education on the narcissistic abusive cycle or understand what narcissism was at all, rather than you probably thought it was just somebody looking in the mirror at themselves all the time. And thirdly, when you're in these relationships with individuals who turn out to be a narcissist or a toxic individual, you're expecting and hoping or waiting for them to change. I'm going to jump right into this. When you are in the relationship and you don't have the wisdom on channels like mine and many others, and again, thank you very much for being here, what you're doing is you are on a loop. You're going around and around and around. And this loop does not stop when you are in the narcissistic relationship. In other words, you're going to have days of some goodness. You're going to have some days of the silent treatment. You're going to have gaslighting, and you will be walking around on eggshells throughout the whole relationship once you enter the devaluation stage. But throughout the relationship, you're waiting for change. Perhaps you had some intelligent conversations with this individual who turned out to be the narcissist, and you got your point across. And then what happened? Did change take place? No, it didn't. Because what you probably got in those intelligent conversations with the narcissist were word salad. Or perhaps they acted like they were listening to you just to appease you and telling you that they would change, or they would work harder and or try harder to build the relationship instead of destroying the relationship. And then the next day, did they take action? No, they didn't. That's why every narcissistic relationship, it ends with a thud, a crash, a bang. Why? Because you, the individual watching the content, you're getting the wisdom, you're getting the education. You are wanting to change yourself and those relationships that you have built. The narcissist, they don't want to change. The only thing the narcissist will ever change is the mask they wear. And they will fine-tune their skills of manipulation that they learned from your relationship, and they will use those and weaponize those against another individual who turns out to be the new supply or the new supplies, and on and on and on. That's what the narcissist changes. But do they actually want to introspect and be accountable and apologize or say I was wrong, or I'm sorry, or I want to improve? No. And if they ever did, those weren't heartfelt things. Why? Because when you're in the narcissistic relationship, you are going around and around and around non-stop, and you are hoping or waiting for change. But the truth is the narcissist never changed. All they did was to look for your replacement and get sources of supply all around you. That's what they did. Now, again, when you don't have the education on the narcissistic abusive cycle, of course you're waiting for change, because most likely the person you're thinking about right now, they told you they would change, and they strung you along. They gave you little breadcrumbs of hope, believing that in fact they would change and that things would get better. That was all part of the master plan. It was the part to future fake you. It was the part to make you believe that in fact they understood that they did have things to work on and that they would change. They won't. They can't, and they never will. The narcissist, every time you have a conversation with them, they are extracting information from you. They are weaponizing information from you. They are putting any words you say into their vault, into their tiny little brain to use against you later in the future. Now, yeah, that may be a little dramatic, but it's true. Think about this. Think about how many times you had a conversation with whoever you're thinking about right now, whatever toxic individual it was, and think about how many times that you would have a conversation and you would bring up a point like, hey, why are you treating me this way? Why are you doing that? I don't understand it. Can't you change? Can't you try and treat me better? And then instead of that person saying, you know what, you're right, I apologize, ouch, I didn't realize I did that, what would they do? They would go back into something that you said weeks, months, years ago and bring it up to change the topic. That's word salad. And that is not addressing the underlying issue or the underlying concern of the conversation, which means what? That's right, it means the narcissist can't change. Think about this. They are incapable of change. They don't believe that they do anything wrong. They believe that their little Hollywood script going on in their brain is the way that life is supposed to be. That is exactly why they blow up each and every relationship they get involved with. It doesn't matter what individual. There is no such thing as stability in a narcissistic relationship. You may say, okay, well, there was a little period of time it was stable. Of course there was. It probably was the euphoric stage or the love bomb stage, when everything was puppies and rainbows and you were being treated like you were the flavor of the month. Unbeknownst to you, soon enough, you would enter the narcissistic fog / the devaluation stage, and that's when nothing goes right. That's when your replacement is right around the corner. You just don't know it yet. That is when the narcissist got bored with you and they needed a nice new shiny object, which at one time was you, but now it's somebody else or multiple individuals. But keep in mind what I'm telling you for this message, for this video. The narcissist, when you're waiting for change, first of all, you didn't have the wisdom on the narcissistic abusive cycle, so you were waiting for something to happen that we both know now never would happen. The next thing is you didn't know anything about narcissism. You had to process that and understand, wow, this person who I'm thinking about, they don't want to change. They can't change. They actually only got worse. The relationship got worse over time. It did. It's exactly what happened. Pardon me. The reason it happened is because, remember, the more time you spend with the narcissist, the more opportunities you have to see their mask slip. Now, if you couple the fact that you now have the awakening and the awareness on the narcissistic abusive cycle, couple that with your relationship in the past or even relationships in the future, and you will see the tells of the narcissist. You will see that the mask is so cumbersome. That's why you see the mask slip. That's why when you're in the relationship, many times you see a strange and or odd behavior and you're like, who would do that? What's going on here? That's because the narcissist was put in a tough position, and like a little child, a petulant child, they threw a rage fit or a temper tantrum or they did something strange. In other words, the mask slipped and they couldn't keep that mask propped up any longer. But what happened when you were in the relationship with them? That mask slipped more and more and more, and you got abused more and more and more, and you got manipulated more and more and more. And the more this went on, the longer it dragged out, the longer you stayed in the narcissistic fog, the less you were being appreciated, respected, the more your boundaries were being devastated, the more your resources were being exploited, the more you were propping up the narcissist to the detriment of yourself. That's exactly how it worked. And that's how it's working right now, wherever the person you're thinking about right now is. If they're with the new supply, or maybe there's multiple new supplies now, maybe your relationship ended 10 or 20 years ago, who knows? The point being, the narcissist is incapable of change. They believe they're better than you. They believe they're better than everybody. They believe that they know more than you. They believe that they are entitled to not only your things, but other people's things too. That's why the narcissistic relationship is shrouded in mystery. That's exactly why there are little groupies or little groups of people that you never even heard about before. They just pop up. Oh, this is a friend I've had for years. Really? I've never heard about that friend. We've been married for 10 years. Who is this? I've never heard of them before. Oh, just a friend. You get my point. So these games, the narcissistic games that they play with every human being they encounter, they go on and on and on. They don't stop. So the only way that you will put an end to this is by removing yourself from the narcissistic relationship, going no contact, blocking them, deleting them, removing all flying monkeys and or people associated with the narcissist, and begin healing and moving forward and living your best life. That is for a whole different video. But my point being, if you're waiting for the narcissist to change, it's not going to happen. And they know that. They're just hoping that you continue to cling on to that little breadcrumb of hope that keeps you waiting for them to change, so they can extract your resources from you more and more and more until they find your replacement. That is what they do. And that is exactly how the narcissistic cycle goes on and on and on. I will say this one before I close the video. Keep in mind also, you're with a narcissist. You've been together for years, whatever the length of the relationship is. And then one day you stand up for yourself and you say something, hey, why don't you start treating me nicer? I mean, this is really, it's not nice. What would happen when that conversation took place? Well, you put a boundary up, and the narcissist doesn't like that. Most likely, they now know that you're catching on to them. So your replacement, it will be stepping up to the plate very soon. The only difference is that new replacement will be just like you when you entered the relationship. You didn't know what narcissism was, and this person most likely doesn't either, and they will take your place. Now, that's a tough pill to swallow. It's real, because that's how it is. However, again, I'm not trying to upset anybody or trigger you. I'm just giving you information to let you know that you need to place your attention and your energy into yourself and stop waiting for the narcissist to change. Any narcissistic relationship you were a part of in the past, or perhaps you currently are, you need to understand that is consuming your energy. It is taking away your resources. It is not allowing you to function properly. It is not allowing you to be. And again, all narcissistic relationships revolve around manipulation, drama, deceit, destruction, and devastation. It's how these people are. It's exactly how they thrive. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it. From the beautiful Carolinas, this is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. Remember, you are not alone. God bless you. Continue to move forward each and every day. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you. I will talk to you later on today, maybe with a quickie, or tomorrow. All right. Bye, you guys. Enjoy.